So alhamdulillah, I wrote like 15 pages of scales yesterday, so there's probably going to be a few typos because after the 10th and the 15th and 20th scale, you kind of, your brain goes a bit weird. So alhamdulillah, I put together the very basic scales for you. So you should have this file, and I'll ask Nasreen just to send this file to you. But it will be on your Dropbox. Okay, so do you have the file? Okay. So I mean the book isn't finished. Inshallah, I make the niyyah inshallah to finish this book by the next lesson. So you have a complete Sarf book. So there's just the basic scales, and then I'm still add the exercises and the explanatory notes and so on. But alhamdulillah, the hard work is the putting all the scales in. So we'll ask her to email the book as well. So let's go through it, and then we can use it at the can proofread it now one time together, and we can just recap as well. Okay. She'll send it to you to now, inshallah. But if you can read on the screen. So it says here, Introduction to Sarf. Sarf linguistically, I think there's a mistake there. Linguistically. Sarf linguistically means turning or changing. So that's the linguistic meaning in terms of the dictionary meaning of Sarf. Therefore we say, Ya musarrif al-qulub, sarrif qulubana ala ta'atik. Oh, the changer, the turner of hearts, turn and change our hearts on your guidance. So the word sarf has a general meaning which means to change. In fact, if you go to let's go here to the dictionary quickly, and we look up the word sarafa. We will find that the word sarf here, the word sarf here means to turn away, to avert, to alienate, keep away, to turn, direct, and many other meanings. And at the end here it says to inflict a word, which means to change a word. So here the ism sarf means averting, turning away, using many other meanings in terms of different contexts. And here in dictionary we have ilmu sarf. Ilmu sarf means the morphology in terms of grammar. Okay, so we're back to our sarf. Okay, so in this context, in this subject here, sarf is the study of how word patterns change to alter the meaning of the word. Okay, so as we change patterns, we alter the meaning of the words. Then what are root letters? Which you should know. Root letters are words in Arabic are grouped in root letter families. Most Arabic words have 3 root letters. For example, the root letter family kataba, that's one family. It will have a meaning related to writing. The root letter family nasara, nun sara, will have a meaning related to what? To helping. The family fataha will have a meaning related to opening. And the letter sami'a will have a meaning related to hearing. So that's how in Arabic everything is structured around the root letter family. And then what's a word pattern? So sarf is the study of how these root letter families are placed on various patterns. So what you learn in sarf is you learn patterns, like you learn fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, sami'a, sami'a, sami'u. So it's a set pattern. And each of these patterns produce meanings. And for example, below shows how one root letter family, kataba, can produce a number of different verbs and nouns. So sarf actually applies to verbs and nouns, but in our first section, and especially for most of first year, we focus on verbs. At the end of first year, we'll do a bit of nouns as well. So for example, there's a pattern kataba, which means he wrote. So if you say nasara, it will be he helped. Then there's a pattern katabna, which means we wrote. If you put another root letter family on the same pattern, like nasarna, it will mean we helped. So it's the same pattern. Yaktubu, he is writing. Yansuru, he is helping. Uktub, write. Unsur, help. La taktub, don't write. La tansur, don't help. So those are examples of how we're taking one family, kataba, and we're making multiple words. Okay. And then katibun. Katibun means a writer. Can you say katibun is a ism? It has a tanween. It means a writer. If I put nasara, then it becomes nasirun. Nasirun means what? A helper. Fatihun means what? An opener. Sami'un means what? A listener. So that's the meaning. And then maktubun. Maktubun means something which is written. So if I put nasara, it becomes mansurun, someone who is helped. Maftuhun, something which is opened. Madrubun, something which is hit. So don't worry about the patterns for now. I'm just trying to say that sarf is the science of word patterns. We take a root letter family, we put it on a pattern. The pattern produces meanings. So in sarf we focus on scales because the scales are teaching you the pattern. Once you know the pattern, you can put any root letter on that pattern and you can produce your own words. So sarf is actually a word factory. So if you keep going with the course, inshallah at some stage you'll be able to produce a few hundred words from one. By the end of second year normally, you'll be able to produce about, I think, 300 to 400 words from one pattern. When I say that 3 to 4, I mean like fa'ala is a pattern, and fa'alu is a pattern, and fa'alta, and fa'alat, and fa'alna, and fa'alta, and fa'altum, and fa'alti, and fa'altunna, and fa'altu, and fa'alna. That's going to be 10 different words you'll be able to make. So as you continue, you're going to learn more and more patterns until that 10 becomes a few hundred, inshallah. Okay. Next thing. What is your learning outcome for the first section? Your learning outcome is that the student is able to recite the following scales from memory with translation and able to substitute the scales with different root letters. So your first goal in Arabic is to cover 6 foundational scales. When you cover these, this is like your foundation of your sarf building. Okay. And the foundation of the foundation is number 1 and number 2. That's like the main part of these 6, number 1 and number 2. So you should know these 6. So if you're doing like a mental check, am I up to date? Let's see where you are. Number 1 is the past tense active verb, which is the fi'l madi al-ma'lum fa'ala. The fi'l, when you say active, we mean the doer is known. Fa'ala. Let's do fa'ala together. And see now to actually okay, Sister Ellie, you're welcome, mashallah. So fa'ala. Fa'ala is to do together, inshallah. Fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. Okay. So that's one tick you must know. Am I able to do the fa'ala scale? And am I able to put other root letters on the scale? Like nasara. Nasara, nasaru, nasarat, nasarna, nasarta, nasartum, nasarti, nasartunna, nasartu, nasarna. Okay. Then, oh, Sister Khadija, mashallah. Yes, we're coming to Hukama prohibition, inshallah. So that's why I did the textbook, because I was just feeling bad about, I feel guilty if I don't give you like good learning material. And I feel actually like sorry for you. Like, how can I be such a bad teacher, not give you the proper stuff because the slides get confusing. So my guilt eventually pushed me to to write the scales. So at least you have like one place to memorize all your stuff. Okay. I think Sister Nasreen is having some issues with her internet. But we'll email to you afterwards, inshallah. And just give me 1 second. The next one is going to be the yaf'alu scale. The next one is going to be the yaf'alu scale, which is the present tense al-fi'lu al-mudari al-ma'lum, active with the do is known. Yaf'alu, bismillah, yaf'alu, yaf'alu, yaf'aluna, taf'alu, yaf'alna, taf'alu, taf'aluna, taf'alina, taf'alna, af'alu, naf'alu. So you must know that that's a learning outcome. And then you must be able to substitute another scale onto it. Like for example, yansuru, yansuru, yansuruna, tansuru, yansurna, tansuru, tansuruna, tansurina, tansurna, ansuru, nansuru. Then number 3 is the past tense passive scale, which is nusira. He was helped. You must be able to say it from memory. Nusira, nusiru, nusirat, nusirna, nusirta, nusirtum, nusirti, nusirtunna, nusirtu, nusirna. And be able to substitute another word into like duriba. Say together. Duriba, duribu, duribat, duribna, duribta, duribtum, duribti, duribtunna, duribtu, duribna. And then the last, not the last, second last one we did was yunsaru. Yunsaru. Yunsaru, yunsaruna, tunsaru, yunsarna, tunsaru, tunsaruna, tunsaruna. Sorry, I'm getting confused here. Yunsaru altogether. Yunsaru, yunsaruna, tunsaru, yunsarna, tunsaru, tunsaruna, tunsarina, tunsarna, unsaru, nunsaru. So what I've done is I've basically for each scale I made I put the scale they basically down for you, so you have a picture of it, or you have a visual of it. Let me just open it a bit more like this. So now, the first one is past tense scale ma'lum. So basically, I'm going to go through all the scales now, but you basically have to you can learn fa'ala, and there's little icons there for you to help you visualize it. So, what's actually better in Arabic from a learning point of view, and just think about this for a moment. What's better in Arabic from a learning point of view is for you to attach a picture to a word instead of a translation. So let's say it again. If I give you an Arabic word, and let's say the Arabic word is a word you don't know. For example, the word hatif. Hatif, you don't know what a hatif is. Now, a hatif is a phone. So now you can either attach hatif phone, or you can say not say phone and say hatif is this thing. You with me? So it's much better to try to visualize the Arabic picture of what you're saying instead of the translation, if that makes sense, because the picture is the object that you are referring to, whereas the going from Arabic to translation to the object is 2 steps, mentally speaking. That woman not a hijab. No, those women غير محرم, so they're okay. Okay, let's go through inshallah. Fa'ala is so we picture the one man and we point to him. That manche there. We picture the one man and we point to him. Okay, and that's fa'ala, he did. Then fa'alu, remember fa'alu has 2 meanings. Fa'alu can mean they group of males did, or it can mean they mixed group did. You with me? They're males and females. So I basically included the females there. I included the females there because in the Quran, most of the time, the verbs are going to be used for a mixed group. You with me? So it can mean a group of men, but most time it's going to be referred to a mixed group. Then fa'alat is a female, she did. And then fa'alna is a group of females, they many females, did, 3 plus. Then fa'alta is you did, you one male. And fa'altum, you many males or mixed group. And most times the Quran is going to be using it for mixed group. Fa'alti, you one female did. And fa'altunna, you many females did. Okay. And then fa'altu, you point to yourself. Ana, I did. And fa'alna, we did. So to answer the question here, I have said here in the footnote, note that dual verbs have been omitted as they rarely appear in the Quran. So if you want to know what they are, there's 3 dual verbs we have omitted. The one is fa'ala, which means they 2 males did. So must not fa'alata, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata. The fa'alata is righteous. Fa'alata, they 2 females did. And fa'altuma, which means you 2 females or you 2 males did. Okay. So the mistake here is not he did, it's we did. Shukran for picking that up. Okay. So basically this is basically going to be the first one, and then you have to memorize these ones here. So you hopefully know these ones: Fataha, Daraba, Nasara. So your homework will be to make sure that you've memorized these ones here: Fataha, Fatahu, Fatahat, Fatahna, Fatahta, Fatahtum, and so on. And inshallah, in the holidays, I'll add some QR codes, and the QR codes will also have the voiceover, so you can hear the scales via the QR codes. If you don't know what the QR code is, don't worry, you'll know soon. And Samia and so on. And then we have the present tense scale, the same thing. I'll fix up the typos inshallah and then send to you. And then we have all the scales here: past tense, passive, and so on. So what I want to get to know is that alhamdulillah, I think we've done most of the scales. We're on the command scale. So let's do the command scale from the textbook inshallah. Let's do the command scale from the textbook. So the command scale in Arabic is called fi'lul amr. Fi'lul amr, fi'l means a verb and amr means a command. So fi'lul amr is the command scale. Another word for command is imperative. Imperative. Okay. So we have the command scale, and the command scale is only 4 words. Why 4 words? Because you're only going to instruct or command someone who you are addressing. So remember, there's 3 persons. There's the absent person, he, she, they, and so on. That is the yaf'alu, yaf'aluna, taf'alu, yaf'alna. Then there's the I on the we, af'alu, naf'alu. And then there is the person you are addressing. So there's only 4 words you have to remember, and the first word is if'al. If'al. If'al means do for you, one male. If'al means do for you, one male. Then the second one is going to be if'alu, which means do for you, many males. And the next one is if'ali. I think if you can just post Sister Nasreen's number onto the chat, and then she can assist the foreign students inshallah too with the admin. If someone can just post Sister Nasreen's number and email, and then she can assist inshallah. Okay. And I think Nasreen's having some internet problems, so she's just a bit struggling to get online. Anyway, then one female is if Ali. If Ali means you, one female, do. And many females is if alna, which means you, many females, do. So let's say those four things together. I wish I could hear you say it, but let's say together. If al, and we can point actually. Okay, don't point, it's fine. If al, do. If alu, if ali, if alna. So altogether, if al, if alu, if ali, if alna. Altogether again. If al, if ala, if alu, if ali, if alna. Okay. So those are going to be the four. You had to memorize that. There's some more details now, so I'm going to add some more details now. Are we all good with those four? When I say good, are you able to say those four from memory? If al, if alu, if ali, if alna. And number two, are you able to translate it? That's which are you good means. If al, do for you one male. If alu, do for you many males or mixed group. If ali, do for you one female. And if alna, do for you many females. Are you able to do that? Because now we're going to add some detail, inshallah. The textbook should be in your WhatsApp. You can check it there. It should be in your WhatsApp. We're on page number 6. There are some typos. I picked up some typos now. But you're welcome to send the typos to Nasreen, and she will just let me know where they are in case I've missed them. I see the we's is all says he, so I must change all the he's to we. Okay. Now let's just read this quickly, this section here. It's an interesting section. It's called the two hamzas. The two hamzas. The two hamzas. And the foreign students, you can just WhatsApp that number. Just send them the WhatsApp number with the country code so that they can also get the textbook as well. So you can send them the WhatsApp number with the country code so they can get the textbook as well. Okay, Bismillah. So we have two types of hamzas. Two types of as in Arabic. The first one, so we're going on the right hand side. I'm actually zoom in here so you don't distract yourself. Yeah. The first one is called Hamzatul Wasli. Hamzatul Wasl. Hamzatul Wasl. Say it together, Hamzatul Wasl. You don't really have to know the Arabic, just you have to know the concept. I just made it up and let's call this the read-through Hamza. The read-through Hamza. So in this Hamza, you can see on the alif, there's no little small Hamza. If you look on the left-hand side, can you see there, on the left-hand side, on the alif, there's a small little Hamza there. On top, there's a small Hamza there. There's a small little Hamza. But on this one here, there's no small Hamza. You with me? So this here is the Hamzatul Wasl, which is the read-through Hamza. So in this Hamza, if it looks like this, with nothing before it, there's nothing before the Hamza, there's a blank space there. I say, if'al. You with me? If'al. If I have nothing before this one here, I say, unsur. Unsur. But if there is a word or a sound before it, like I'm reading the Quran, I'm reading fluently through it, how do I read this? Say it for me. How do I read this? I can't hear you. Louder. how do I read that? I read that as waf'al. Waf'al. I don't say wa'if'al. I say waf'al. Why? Because that is a Hamzatul Wasl. It's a read-through Hamza. Waf'al, yes. And how do I read this here? I read this wansur. I don't say wa unsur. I read it wansur. Okay. You with me? So if the reading starts with this Hamza, like if'al unsur, you're starting your recitation, you're starting the verse with this Hamza, you will say it. You will say if'al unsur. then you pronounce the hamza, you pronounce the or the or the i. However, if the hamza is preceded by another word or a haraka or a sound, then you won't pronounce it, you'll read through it. You'll just bypass it. You with me so far? Why did I mention this whole long story about the hamza? Look at the last point there. The command verbs, the amr verbs in this section that we're doing now starts with this hamza here. Which hamza? Hamzatul wasl. You with me? The command verbs we're doing in this section starts with this hamza. Okay. I think people are getting hungry here, but when you say a waffle will be nice for iftar. MashaAllah. So the command verbs in this section start with this hamza. You understand? Let's look at the other one and it will become clearer. The other one is called hamzatul qat'i. Say it just for practice. You don't have to memorize it. Just say it. Hamzatul qat'i. This is I just called it the always pronounced hamza. And how do you know the difference? You'll see that there's a hamza on the alif. For example, if'alun, or hamza above it, af'il, or could be uf'il as well. It doesn't matter. It's a i-u, but there will be a hamza in there. You with me? So if you start if'alun and af'il, when you have something before the hamza, for example, wa, it becomes what? Wa. Read this for me here. Read this for me. Wa if'alun. I don't say waf'alun. Wa if'alun. Read this for me here. Wa af'il. Wa af'il. So this hamza here is always pronounced regardless of whether it is at the start of the reading or during the course of the reading. You with me? For example, so let's go to the Quran for 1 second. Let's look for an amr. Let's see if we can find the amr. For example, yeah. We're looking at this part of the verse here. Second line here. So, the second line here, it says, قَالَ يَا أَبَتِ. Ya abati. Now in this mushaf, and this print is basically, let me just zoom in a bit here. This print is the like the Medina print. So this print here, can look at the word abati. On there's a hamza. That hamza, that's a hamzatul qat. You know, that's a hamza you must always say. Then if you look at this if'al here, can you see on the hamza there's like a curly thing there? That curly thing means there's no hamza on top there. That's like a weird thing. But the curly thing on top of that hamza means it's a hamza with nothing on. You with me? It's not a normal one. So just differentiate. So how will I read this? Qala ya abati. I'll read this. If I'm reading through, I will say Qala ya abati f'al. I'll read through it. You with me? Ma tu'mar. Ya abati f'al ma tu'mar. If I had to stop here, Qala ya abat, and I had to start the recitation here, I would say if'al ma tu'mar. You with me? So that's going to be an example. There's another example for you to look at. For example, yeah. Second line. قلوب الذين كفروا رعبا. Then it says here, can you see there? This is the amr idrib idribu. Idrib idribu. So this becomes what? Fadribu. So I'll read through here. فاضربوا فوق الأعناق واضربوا. Two amrs here. فاضربوا واضربوا. So again I won't say وإضربوا or فإضربوا وإضربوا. I'll say فاضربوا and واضربوا. Okay, this is the last one. We can check quickly. Brother Yahya, if you can just message Nasreen inshallah, and then she will send you the textbook. For example, look at this one here. Can you see the very first word here? The very first word here is an amr. I'lam. Alima means to know. Ya'lamu, he is knowing. Ta'lamu means you know. The amr here is i'lam. I'lam. But can you see there's no harakah in i'lam? So because there's nothing preceding i'lam, I would say i'lamu. I'lamu. It's Quran.com I'm using. Quran.com. This is the Medina Mus'haf. The Indo-Pak Mus'haf looks a bit different. I generally personally read from the Medina Mus'haf. 19 to 20. Oopsie. Okay, so you can see here. Here is i'lamu. So if I start here, I will say i'lamu annama al-hayatu dunya la'ibun wa lahun and so on. So I'll read through here. I would start with the But if I had to read through from the previous verse, أولئك أصحاب الجحيم اعلموا. You see, if I'm reading from the previous verse into this verse, I have to say أولئك أصحاب الجحيم اعلموا. But if I'm stopping there, أولئك أصحاب الجحيم, stop. Start here. اعلموا. You with me? So that's the difference. Okay. So your homework. And again, I left out the dual here. The dual, there's one dual here, and the dual is if'ala, which means the two of you do. But we left out the dual for now. Okay, so we're going to answer your question now. We're going to answer your question now. Okay. Look at the three examples on the screen. Look at the three examples on the screen. We are on page number 6. The three examples on the screen. Let's do number 1, iftah. Iftah means open. Let's say the scale together. Iftah, iftahu, iftahi, iftahna. Again, iftah, iftahu, iftahi, iftahna. Translation, iftah, open, for you one male. Iftahu, open, for you mixed group or group of males. Iftahi, open, for you one female. And iftahna, open, for you many females. Listen to the next one. Idrib. Altogether. Idrib. Idribu. Idribi. Idribna. Again. Idrib. Idribu. Idribi. Idribna. One more time. Idrib. Idribu. And actually point as well. Okay, I don't point, man. Because a lot of the amrs come with du'as. So, or you can point for practice if you want to. One finger idrib, many fingers idribu. One finger idribi, idribna. If you want to try it. Idrib, idribu, idribi, idribna. Idrib hit, all you one male. Idribu hit, you many males. Or mixed group. Idribi hit, you one female. And idribna, you many females. Now what's interesting, when I come to nasara yansuru, I don't say insur, I say unsur. When it comes to fataha yaftahu, I say iftah. When it comes to daraba yadribu, I say idrib. When it comes to nasara yansuru, I say unsur. Why? I'll explain now, but just practice the scale first. Unsur. Bismillah, practice with me. Unsur. Unsuru. Unsuri. Unsurna. All together. Unsur. Unsuru. Unsuri. Unsurna. Again. Unsur. Unsuru. Unsuri. Unsurna. Translation. Unsur. You one male help. Unsuru. You many males mixed group help. Unsuri. You one female help. Unsurna. You many females help. Next one. Sami'a yasma'u. The amr is isma'. Okay, now Nabila, we're going to answer your question now. I'm just keeping you in suspense. Okay. Because you're going to answer the question yourself after this, inshallah. Isma'. Sami'a yasma'u isma'. So bismillah, isma'. Isma'u, isma'i, isma'na. Again. Isma'. Isma'u, isma'i, isma'na. With pointing. Isma'. Isma'u, isma'i, isma'na. Listen, 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 listen. Ihsib. Bismillah. Hasiba. Yahsibu. Ihsib. Ihsib. Ihsibu. Ihsibi. Ihsibna. Together. Ihsib. Ihsibu. Ihsibi. Ihsibna. Last time. Ihsib. Ihsibu. Ihsibi. Ihsibna. And the last one is karuma. Yakrumu. Karuma. Yakrumu. And the amr here is not ikrum, it's ukrum. Ukrum. So bismillah, say together. Ukrum. Ukrumu. Ukrumi. Ukrumna. All together. You must say it if you're at home. You must say this stuff so you can get fluent, so you can memorize. So bismillah again. Ukrum. Ukrum. Ukrumu. Ukrumi. Ukrumna. One more time. Ukrum. Ukrumu. Ukrumi. Ukrumna. Karuma yakrumu means to be noble. Can also mean generous as well. The word karim. Okay. So there are a few questions about this. Number one is, what do you notice? You notice that in the amrs here, it either starts with an I or with an U. Do you notice that? It's either is or U. Uk. It doesn't start with a. So the amr we're doing now, this amr here, doesn't start with an a. It either starts with an I or with an U. Ukrum. Yeah, so there's a mistake in the scale here. There mustn't be ukrumu, it must be ukrum. Shukran. So let's go back in. There should be ukrum, not ukrumu, ukrum. So it starts with the E or starts with the U. So can I ask you, can you tell me? You tell me, yes, I'm on the shade inshallah. Can you tell me, when do you use an U and when do you use an E? Look at the pattern here. When do you use an U and when do you use an E? At the beginning. You'll see there's a certain pattern to it. When do you use an U and when do you use an E? At the beginning. Okay. The dodi bot. MashaAllah. The U, when there is a dhamma on the middle letter. Okay, good. So you can see Nasara yansuru. The ain letter, the middle letter is the sad. The ain letter is a sad, which is an U. So the ain letter is a U, the middle letter is an U. I use an U in the beginning. Karuma yakrumu, it's an U. I use an U at the beginning. Okay. So when do I use an I? Can you see here? Isma, sami'a, yasma'u, fataha, yaftahu. If the middle letter is an or an I use an I at the beginning. If the middle letter is an I, then I use an I at the beginning. Okay. So basically here at the bottom it will give the answer. That will say here, the alif at the beginning will take a kasrah. The alif will take a kasrah if the middle root letter, listen carefully, if the middle root letter of the command slash present tense verb has a kasrah or a fatha. Just process that. When the ain letter has a kasrah or a fatha, then it will have an I. And if the ain letter has a dhamma, like yansuru or yakrumu, then it will have a dhamma at the beginning. Is that understood? Are you all good? So what you have to do for homework is I don't have an exercise for you to do. I want you to do for homework is I want you to be able to memorize these 6 plus obviously the if'al one. I want you to be able to say, actually write this out. Write out these 6 scales and memorize them. Write out these 6 scales and memorize them. Okay. Okay, so good. How do we know what the harakah on the letter is? So before I go to that answer question, this first word, is it u'lamu or i'lamu or a'lamu? There's no harakah in there. So how do I read that first word? I'lamu, a'lamu or u'lamu? Remember the thing on the alif isn't a it's just a squiggly thing. How do I read this here? So I see that the ain lam mim is the ain lam mim are the root letters. The ain letter is the lam, la. So if the ain letter is an then I will start with an I. So it will be i'lamu, i'lamu. Okay, how do you know what the ain letter is? It's in the dictionary. Either you'll learn it, like I'll give it to you. Like I'll tell you sami'a, yes, ma'u, fataha, yaftahu. So I'll give it to you. Or you can go to the dictionary and you can type in any word. For example, if I go to sami'a, if I go to any verb, next to the verb there will either be an a or I or a u. Can you see it says sami'a and it says a. This here where my mouse pointer is an a. And a means that the middle root letter of the present tense has an a. So it's not yasmi'u or yasmu'u, it's yasma'u. Yes, ma'u. You with me? If I go to, for example, daraba. If I go to daraba, daraba. Okay, I find daraba here. Can you see there's daraba and next to it there's an I, which means what? This hands for yes. This is I. So daraba, the middle letter is going to be daraba yadribu. Not daraba yadrabu or daraba yadrubu. daraba yadribu. You with me? Daraba yadribu. And then finally, let's go to nasara. Can see nasara, there's an u, a u, which means nasara yansuru. Okay, so that's how you know. You look in the dictionary. If there's an a next to it, then it's an a. If there's an I, it's an e, and there's a u, it's an u. Okay, so you got your homework, inshallah. I'm gonna fix the typos. I'll hopefully remember where the typos are. I'll fix the typos after this, inshallah, and then we'll resend you the book with the corrections. And if you pick up more typos afterwards, you can just let me know, inshallah ta'ala. So your homework for Sarf is just to memorize and write out and memorize those 6 amr, those 6 command scales for homework. And our next lesson, remember next week there's no lesson, next week is Eid, inshallah. So our next lesson will be in 2 weeks time, where we will do the nahi, the last of the 6 scales. So I think part of your homework is go through the textbook and try to consolidate and say the scales and memorize them and be fluent in them. You have, alhamdulillah, 2 weeks to consolidate them. So as you're finishing your khatam, also finish your khatam of your scales, inshallah ta'ala.